So I started my spiritual journey a few years ago, but last year I started watching tarot videos and then I started doing tarot. I never recorded it, and today's gonna be my first day. I probably won't post it, but we're gonna see, right? I got some oracle cards. We're gonna start with what's the vibe, and we're gonna keep it moving. Now, up until a week ago, when I would do it, it would naturally come out in third person, meaning it was for other people. Over the last week, it's just been about me. So, I did a pre-shuffle. I got 10 cards out here. I got isolation, masculine energy, daydreaming, established, cutting ties, tension, thrills, hopeful, soulmate, and recharge. And the reason I'm showing it like this is because I'm using my phone and you can't see the card. So I think some of the things that I have found that makes it easier for me to like connect or believe in the practice, as well as pulling out what resonates with me regarding the message, is being able to see the person's face, being able to see the cards. Now, the way I do things is the way I do things pretty much in my life always. I do try to learn the basics of things. So I have learned like what tarot cards mean, like the actual like printed definition on a card. I work with my spirit team. I let them guide me. And then I talk about what's going on with me and I go with the flow. So when I see the isolation card, it says rejected, left alone, and self-inflicted. For the last year, I've been distant. I cut everybody off and I really turn my attention within, and pretty much with the exception of my daughter and work, I don't really deal with too many people because I found it to be a distraction. So when I see isolation, that's what I think of, that I have a self-imposed isolation. And I think that when I see the picture, because you go with everything that pops out to you. For me, that teddy bear, you know how like a teddy bear could be soothing when you're a kid and you hug it and you feel just connected and comfortable and loved. That's the part of me I had to find. I give this feeling to other people, but I wasn't giving it to myself consistently. It would be in small doses, right? When I see masculine energy, it says authority, discipline, and father figure. And I have my own complicated relationship with my father, and I've had many complicated relationships with men that I've dated. Not so much friends, but people that try to control me, people who judge me, people who hold me to their standard, and me naturally conforming because it would trigger my abandonment wounds and tap into the things that I felt like I was missing out on from not having my father be present as I was growing up. Having unresolved trauma and other things to tap into that. So sometimes think about that teddy bear feeling I just mentioned. When I'm connecting to a person, I feel close to them. I feel comfortable with them. Sometimes I would feel safe with them in different ways, but sometimes they may not have always had the right intention. And again, take what part of this resonates for you and then just think about it. It's really about asking yourself why. Why do certain things happen? Have I ever had that feeling? I wonder why that happened to me, right? Daydreaming is the next card. Head in the clouds, delusion, hopes and dreams. Sometimes we don't see people for who they are. Sometimes we see who they could be. Sometimes we know who they used to be. And so our longing to be connected, to be loved, to want somebody may not be giving us an accurate picture of someone that would give me the head in the clouds and the illusion and hopes and dreams. It's okay to want the person around you, and it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, anybody, to want to be connected, to want to feel safe, to want to be able to be vulnerable. In my case, some of the people I thought I had that, what I didn't. But I believe that I did see the good in them. I don't think they saw it in themselves. And I think part of the push, pull, and imbalance of our relationship and some of that rejection was that questioning. When you see something that somebody else can't see, when you see something good and they can't see it or they don't think it's true, they push you away in the most unloving of ways. Instead of just saying, I don't agree with that, I'm struggling in that area. Because sometimes you don't have that clarity when you're overwhelmed and you're consumed. And I always say that this is a hard example, but it just gives you clarity when you think about how people see themselves versus how someone sees them. Like, it's just a clear cut in your face. Think about somebody that is struggling with an eating disorder, who may be, very, very, very frail and thin. They may not see themselves the way you do. Like, I see that this is going very far. I'm concerned about your health, that kind of thing. And they may still say, no, I'm too big. It's like perception too. Established. I think we all have a desire to be established in life, settled, secure, and wealthy. I think the desire for this sometimes leads us to be misguided and can put us in the wrong places with the wrong people. For the love of money, people will steal from their brother. For the love of money, people will rob their own mother. What is wealth to you? To me, it is being full of love that I have to offer other people. It's being full of wisdom that I have to offer other people. It's receiving knowledge and wisdom from other people. Would I like a gaggle of money? I would. I would. But am I fulfilled and happy in my life? I am. And I don't have the things that people would say I should have to feel that way. We really got to get back to the content of your character. When all of this goes, at the end of the day, you're going to be weighed by what you did in this life. Not by how much money you had or how many things you bought. Think about you and how you make people feel. That's how you become established. And you got to do things for you first. You got to be the living, breathing example of whatever you're putting out. Like product placement type of thing. Cutting ties. It says freedom, stand up, and awaken. Like I said, I have cut pretty much everybody out of my life. And even though it's not on no bad terms, they may feel that it is. It's just what's best for me. You can't heal in the places that you got sick. You can't heal with the people that may have contributed to your ailments, whether they realize it or not. It's very hard for people to understand that you walked away, but you don't hate them. You don't have any animosity or tension for them, because that doesn't make sense to them. But that's because they have their own path to walk down. They have their own healing journey to explore. They have their own things in life that need to be examined, addressed, assessed, so they can move forward. I truly do believe that everybody can have a happy, healthy life. I know that it takes hard work, and I think the hard part is the more you dig yourself into a hole with bad choices and poor decision making, the harder it is to get out. But it's not impossible. I always say difficult does not mean impossible. It just means hard as fuck. Tension says stressed out, migraines, and worry. And I feel like this is a multifaceted thing. Are you the one that is contributing or causing attention in your life? Are you contributing or causing tension in the lives of others? You really have to be able to call yourself to the carpet. People do not like when I get with them, when I really am like, nah, this is what I see. No, this is what is happening. No, this is where I see that, you may need to make some changes. I do that for myself. And it's not ever like inappropriate or crossing the line. I believe we're having a conversation, the door was open, and I walk through. That's how I look at it. You open the door, I'm walking through. But sometimes we are our own worst enemy. The way we treat ourselves speaks to ourselves, and the things that we allow because we think we deserve less than. I know that it's hard when you mess up to feel like you deserve a second chance, but you do. Thrills, continuous cycles, bad decisions, and addictions. It's fun. It's fun to do the things, whatever the thing is, right? It's fun to have sex. It's fun to use drugs for some people. It's fun to run around with no responsibilities. But it's not fun when consequences catch up to you. You have to do things in moderation. You have to do things responsibly. And when you are running away and avoiding harsh realities and hard feelings, it puts you into that space where you can start to become addicted. The thing about any type of high, proverbially, is when the high comes down and reality sets back in, and whatever you try to avoid is there, what are you going to do? Hopeful, inspired, optimistic, and success. Be hopeful that you can heal, that you can grow. Be hopeful that you can have a good life, regardless of how you started. Be hopeful that you can connect to the right people, places, and things. And be hopeful that you got the power to navigate any challenge in your life, because you do. Sometimes we do have to use unhealthy means to cope and to navigate. Sometimes we do have to connect to things that we may not want to just be able to survive and live. But the goal is that we become established and we move away from those things. And then the things that we're hopeful for are good, are healthy, are positive. And then they work in our lives. Soulmate, twin flame, friendship, romantic partner. I truly believe through my personal and professional experiences that our desire to be loved pretty much dictates everything we say, do, and feel. I think when you do not come from healthy beginnings, when you're not in healthy environments, you're not always taught what love is supposed to look like. Love does not hurt. Love does not harm. Love does not hurt. Love does not harm. I think the climate of our country is problematic because people are stepping in places they shouldn't be. We're telling people who they should love and how they should love. That's not our business. Love is beautiful. And if you find somebody that you love and they love you too, and it makes you feel good, it's like floating on a cloud. It's like being in a hot air balloon, those type of things, like anything that is just creates elation. You go towards it. But sometimes in our desire to be loved, we connect with the wrong people. We do the wrong things. We put ourselves in a situation where we can be hurt. And then we don't know how to get out. Be mindful, but don't be ashamed of who you love and how you love, as long as it's healthy and appropriate. Recharge, breathe, let go, and clear your mind. Simple. We are overwhelmed. We are overstimulated because life sucks sometimes. It's hard. It's hard. But if you can take a break, take one. If it's only for 5 minutes, if you can only do a weekend trip to another state, not out of the country, whatever you need to do to recharge, sit outside in the sun, take a walk, go to the beach, ride a bike, do things that just make you smile, make your heart feel good. And anything that makes you feel bad, side-eye that shit. And if it continues to hurt you, leave it alone. It is that simple sometimes. We do not have to overcomplicate anything, and we damn sure do not have to overcomplicate life. I'm going to get into some little alien tarot, because I just like it. King of Swords. Are you the boss of your life? Do you have authority? Do you have power? How do you yield it? Are you the person that feel like you always got to have your sword out and be on guard? Or have you matured? Have you learned all the lessons you need to learn to this point, and you are able to rule without being a dictator, without being controlling? I have it. It's there. I don't need to wield it anymore. As we get older, we're supposed to come to a point of being calm and learning how to navigate our lives in a better way, more effectively. Growing up comes with growing pains, but growing up is beautiful. Living is beautiful. Learning is beautiful, because as you get older, you get to explore things in a way that works for you. Again, things can be simple, but we can also overcomplicate them. The Seven of Cups is about choices. And sometimes this could be a good thing, and sometimes this can be a bad thing. Sometimes we have so many choices that we're overwhelmed again, and we don't know what to choose. The way I look at it as is any door you go through is where you should be. And every door you go through is going to take you where you need to be. regardless. You're going to always end up where you should be. Think about a GPS. You may get rerouted, but you're going to always get to your destination. Okay. On camera so you can see. The Hierophant speaks about institutions, ideologies. Think about religion, think about sororities and fraternities, think about anything that's organized, right? And sometimes the antiquated thinking, unfortunately, that comes with it, systemic things. It has to be this way, it has to be that way. Even with thinking about the soulmate thing, like some people still want that Stepford wife type of life. Whether you date, in a heterosexual relationship or not, it's not about that. It's about, I want my partner to just blink and smile and do everything I say. I want everybody to follow a certain doctrine. Again, look at what's happening in our country. It is up to us to say we have free thought, we have free will, and we are supposed to have democracy, not just in our country, in our lives. Start to think about the things that are systemic that you may not like, the things that are old school. I was taught that way and I'm just that way, and start breaking that shit down. It doesn't work, and it never did. It's just that people weren't as vocal as they are now. The Star. You you are what they say you are, a superstar. And it's right at your heart chakra. Love is our salvation. Love will set you free. Love is going to be the only thing that helps heal humanity. And I know it's weird because it's an alien on the card, but you have to love yourself. And you may have to start with liking yourself if you don't love yourself yet. Because if you don't love yourself, you cannot. And this is not just like, you cannot love somebody else. The reason why we don't know how to accept love sometimes is because we're struggling with who we are, how we are, and why we are. Shine bright. That's what you're here to do. Everybody is supposed to be different and unique, and then work together to understand those differences respectfully and learn how to coexist. Do y'all remember those shirts and that coexist sign from a couple years ago? They was like really pushing that, pumping that. What happened to that? Why wouldn't somebody want us to get along? Why do people want us distracted? Why do people want us in conflict all the time? Ask yourself, why would somebody try to dim your light? Why are you doing it? Which God just came up. Why ask why when you know? And sometimes we know the answers. It's hard to accept them. So we avoid them. And that's okay too. When you become aware and you are ready to address the things in your life, you will. It really is that simple. Again, don't overcomplicate your life. Think about something in means of like a child. Not act like a child, but think about the simplicity. Remember when all you did was ride your bike. Remember when you ran around. Remember when life was fun. The Two of Wands. When you look out into your world, what do you see? This is like a sky's is the limit type of card. And then in this deck, it looks different than in other decks. But to me, it's always your reflection. When you look in the mirror, you got to be happy what you see. And you have to see who's blocking your expansion. And it could be you. But then you always need to ask why and what can you do? The world is your oyster. Go explore it. Learn. We got to get back to how we used to be. Outside and foraging. Connecting with the earth. Learning new skills and things. Let yourself be led properly. Because the reality is we all do fucked up shit. And we'll follow a man or a woman. We'll follow our partner. We'll follow a religious leader. We'll follow all these people that don't always mean us well. Open yourself up to other things and other possibilities. It's so much going on in our world that we miss. But they, the infamous they, want us to miss it on purpose. Ask yourself why. The Six of Pentacles. To me, when I see this card on a traditional tarot deck, it's like somebody with money. And they're like putting their hands on like people. They look like children in a card. But just like to me, it's about giving back. What do you have in abundance to give? What do you have an overwhelming amount of that you could share with somebody else? And like I said, for me, it's love and wisdom. And that's what I give every day, every chance that I get. What can you do to make yourself a better person, to make the world a better place, to live with honor, integrity, and respect? And the Six of Cups. Traditionally, that's about nostalgia, honoring your inner child, remembering those good memories and learning from them so you could be the best person that you can be. On the bottom of the deck's Ace of Cups, and it's a song that I listen to. It's like, Ace of Cups, baby, you always know your worth. You gotta explore yourself emotionally, and you gotta do the things that are uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to unpack and really get to the root of what's going on with you. But once you do, you win. Everything that's supposed to go goes, and you ascend. You go straight up, right, to that top floor, to that penthouse, to that deluxe apartment in the sky. I don't know if y'all know the Jeffersons, but you can have what you want in life. And sometimes when you're not getting it, it's because it's not for you. What you think you want may not be what you need or want, right? Think about The Price is Right. You could have this, or you could have what's behind door number 2. And on a show, typically it's something shitty behind door number 2. But in life, door number 2 could be everything you ever thought, everything you ever imagined, or more. Stop limiting yourself and stop letting other people tell you who you are and who you should be. And I'm going to get one card from an oracle deck I made that's more about like my ancestors and connecting with my family. And we're going to see what that says. And it's the 3 of Cups. So that's about celebration and collaborations and traditional tarot. It says pain is prophetic and healing is holy. You got to do what you got to do. And it's not easy. And it's not fun. But it will make you better. Better for yourself and better for the people around you. And on the bottom of the deck is the Knight of Cups. It says, rise above, but first go below. Bless the root and burn the lie. Your conditioning and your programming is wrong. You don't deserve pain. You don't deserve harm. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to have a good life. And you deserve to have people around you who respect you and appreciate you. You deserve to live in a world where people are treated fairly and equally. You deserve a lot of things. But if you don't believe it, there's nothing anybody can do to help you. As always, I want you to have a great day. I want you to remember that you're amazing. Make good choices. Think about what is it that you want out of life and how you can go about getting it. That's it. That's all. So it shall be spoken. So it shall be written. So it shall be done.